Hello, welcome to my channel where I'm going to prove that anyone can draw. Drawing this cute banana is easier than you think, and I will take you through all the steps so you can draw it too, even if you're a beginner in digital art and Procreate. Before you start, make sure to download the color palette and that you have all my free brushes that are linked in the description of this video. And if you'll have fun drawing this with me and would like to get more step-by-step tutorials like this, make sure to check out my Patreon. I add their new video every week. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell so you will never miss out on our artistic adventures. And now grab your tools, open Procreate, relax and enjoy the drawing process. Let's make a new canvas, A4 canvas from Procreate. And first we can draw here the background. Let's take the color for this. Take color number 1 and just drag and drop it in here. Now we want to add here blue circle. We can draw it on a new layer first. So let's make a new layer. And let's take the color number 2. Let's pick a brush. Let's go to calligraphy and take monoline brush. With the brush size 11%, we can draw a large circle over here. Draw it like this and hold your pencil on the screen and put your finger here to make this a perfect circle. Let's make it quite big, like that. And let's color this inside. Let's move it to the middle of the canvas. So let's take the arrow tool. At the bottom, let's pick uniform option and turn on snapping. So now we can just move it over here like this and it will snap to the middle of the canvas. Let's tap here to finish. And now we are going to merge those two layers together. So to do it, we can just tap on this layer here and pick merge down. Now let's blend those two colors together. Let's go to the adjustments and take Gaussian blur. Swipe your pencil on the screen to the blur size. And let's make it 71%. Let's tap here to finish. Now we can draw our banana. We'll draw the inside of the banana first. Let's make a new layer for this. And let's pick a color. Let's take color number 4. We can use the same brush and same size. And just draw here a shape of a banana. So something like this. Make sure that your shape will be closed. And let's color this inside. I'm going to rotate it right away. So for this, I'll take the arrow tool. And over here, I can rotate it just a little bit this way. Like that. We can also make it bigger or smaller, depends how you drew this. So I will place it somewhere over here. Okay, and let's tap here to finish this. So now we can draw the peel around this. Let's make a new layer for this and change the color. Let's take color number 3. And here, so we can see easier what we'll be drawing, because that yellow color is very similar to the background, we can turn off this layer first with the background. So let's just tap here and make it invisible. Okay. So now let's draw a banana shape, the banana peel shape, that will be a little bit bigger than the shape we just drew here. And by the way, if you think that your lines are shaky, you can change here one setting. I will show you where. Let's go to the Actions menu, Preferences, Pressure and Smoothing, and over here you can change the stabilization. We can make it a little bigger number, maybe something around 42%. And then your lines should be less shaky, of course if you had that problem. So let's draw here a banana peel. So let's start somewhere over here. We can draw the stem first. And then just draw around this like that. And make sure to end this here with this pointy shape, like this. Now let's draw it from this side. So like that. We can still adjust this shape, of course. So I'm going to fix it like this. And over here I will fix this end. Make sure this looks nice over here. And now over here, let's cut the hole for the banana face. So let's draw here a shape like that. And this shape should be smaller than the middle part of the banana. Let's make sure this is nice. Okay. And we can color this part over here like this. Now we're going to draw here two pieces of the banana peel that are opened. For this we can make a new layer and we can change the color. Let's take color number 8. And let's draw a piece over here like that. Let's take it this way. Something like this. And then another piece going to the right. Like that. Let's color them inside. And now we want to have here a small piece of the yellow peel visible under that color over here. So to do it, we can just duplicate this layer. Let's swipe on it to the left and pick duplicate. And let's go to the layer underneath and we can color it in the same yellow color. So let's take that color, color number 3, and just drag and drop it in here and drag and drop it in here. When you open the layers, you can see this is yellow. Let's close this for a second, the shape of the banana peel. And we can move those to the side. So let's take the arrow tool and very lightly we can move it outside here so we can actually see it. So just a little bit like this. This should be enough. Let's tap here to finish this. And now we have to make sure this is connecting here nicely. So we can take the brush and just draw up here. And here we can erase this part. So let's take the eraser. Let's tap on it again. Let's set it to the same brush. So calligraphy and monoline brush. And with the brush size 24, we can just erase here this part. So this is how it should look like. Let's bring back the peel. And now on a new layer, we can draw a part of the banana peel that will go here in the middle. So let's make a new layer and put it on top of the banana peel. So over here. And we want this part of the banana peel to be only visible on the banana peel. So to do it, we have to set this layer's clipping mask. Let's tap here and pick clipping mask. For a moment, we can draw this in a different color than this yellow color, so we can actually see what we're drawing. Let's change the color. We can take any color. Maybe let's take the number 6 because it's dark and we can see well. So let's draw here this part coming here in the middle between those two parts that are opened. So just like that. Let's take this line up over here like this. And now let's start somewhere over here and follow the shape of the banana to add here this part like that. Now we want to color this, but we want to make sure that this shape is closed. So we can just draw here a closed shape outside of that peel. So this shape will be closed. We don't have to see that it's closed, but we know it is. So now we can color this inside, like that. And now if you want to, you can still fix it. I will take the eraser and I'm going to erase here this part a little bit to make it look nicer. So I'll just do it like that. And maybe I will take the brush again, and this part I'm just going to draw this way. It will look nicer like this, I think. Okay, and now we can color this in yellow. So let's take that yellow color, color number 3, and just drag and drop it in here. And if you have to, you can always swipe your pencil to the left or right to adjust the color drop threshold. Just to make sure you don't have here any of that black outline. Okay, so all of our pieces for the banana are ready. We are going to draw the eyes and the mouth in the end. Now we can start shading this. Let's bring back our background, this, and let's start with adding here some texture to those peel parts. So let's go over here, and let's make a new layer on top of this. We want the texture to be visible only on those parts, so let's set this layer as clipping mask. We can change the blending mode of this layer, so let's tap here, and we can set it to linear burn. Now we can take the same color that we used for the peel, so color number 8, and we can pick a brush with texture. Let's go here to charcoals and take burnt tree. With a brush size 27, we can draw here texture like this. Okay, now let's take a small break, and I would like to ask you to write a comment, I can draw this. It would mean a lot to me, I would know that you enjoyed this video, and I could see who is watching me. It would also help this video reach more people. So thank you for doing that. And now let's go back to drawing. And now we can turn down the opacity of this. So let's tap here and turn it down. So it's there, but it's not too visible. Maybe I will make it 27. Let's add here some texture now to the inside part of the banana. So let's go to the layer of it, make a new layer on top, set it as clipping mask, and also change it to linear burn. Let's take the color we used for this, so color number 4, and let's draw over here too. Okay, let's turn down the opacity of this. I will make it 33%. Now we can start adding here shadow. We can start with those parts that are open over here. So let's go to the top over here, and let's make a new layer above it and set it as clipping mask. For the shadow we can change the blending mode to multiply, and let's change the color. For this we can use color number 10, and let's change the brush. I will be using here brushes from my texture brush pack. If you are interested in it, it is linked in the description of this video. But don't worry, you don't have to have them. You can use any of those brushes over here from charcoals. You can also try maybe texture brushes or any other brush that you like. So I will go here to my brush set, siakulaart textures, and I will use here sand shading brush. With the brush size 23, let's add the shadow over here like this. Add it more here by the banana middle part and fade it away going downwards. So just like that, and same over here. And over here for shading we can change the preferences and add stabilization. For shading I think it's better not to have the smoothing too much, because then it messes up your strokes. So So I'll take it down to 20%. And this way you can shade it way easier. Okay, so let's add the shadow over here like this, and then we can also take it this way just a little bit to add some shadow here on the left side. So just like that. Let's make this shadow darker here at the ends over here. For this we can make a new layer and also set it as clipping mask and set it as multiply. Now we can darken here those parts, like that. We can make the brush size smaller, maybe 9%, and make sure this part here is dark. Let's add some shadow now to those parts that are under the peel over here. So let's go to this layer over here, make a new layer on top of this, set it as clipping mask, and change it to multiply. For this we can change the color. Let's take color number 9. And let's make the brush size smaller, 5%. And we can add the shadow right under that whiter part, like this. And this way it will look way more interesting, I think. And that's enough over here. Now let's add the shadow to this part. So let's go to the layer of it, to the texture on it. Let's make a new layer on top of this, set it as clipping mask, and change it to multiply. Let's change the color. Take color number 11. And here let's change the brush. So you can pick any brush that you like. I'm going to pick here paper shading from my brush set. I'll make the brush size 12%. And let's add the shadow over here on the edges. Just like that. Let's make it darker right next to that yellow peel. Now we can add some shadow over here at the bottom part. Like that. I'm adding some more shadow on this side, because the light will be coming from here. And now let's make the brush size smaller, maybe like 2%. And we can draw here some lines on this banana. Let's follow the shape of the banana and add them here to add some extra texture. Do it very lightly. If you have to, you can turn down the opacity of the brush. This way it will be way more interesting. Okay, now let's add here some extra shadow. We can make it darker in a few places. Let's make a new layer for this. Set it as clipping mask and change it to multiply. Let's make the brush size a little bit bigger, maybe like 5%. And darken here this right by the peel. Like that. And then also over here. Now let's move on and add the shadow to the banana peel. Let's go to the layer with it, this one. And let's make a new layer on top of this. As you can see, this is already a clipping mask, and we have to change this to multiply. Let's take the right color, color number 9, and let's change the brush. I'm going to use here the same brush that I used for this part. So I used here the sand shading. And with the brush size maybe like 14%, we can start adding here shadow. Remember that we have here this part in the middle. So now we want to add the shadow right underneath it, by the edge of it. So over here like that. And you can see how we create here this way, this nice kind of dimension. And that piece becomes visible. So let's do like that. Leave here that left edge without the shadow. And add here some more shadow here at the bottom. So just like that. We can do the same now to the right side of this. So just like that. Okay, and there will be way more shadow over here under that peel. So let's add some more of it. We can also darken here this a little bit and add here shadow from this. Now let's darken it up. We can make a new layer on top of this. Also set it as multiply. And we can make the brush size a little bit smaller, maybe like 7%. And add this here again by the edge. Make it darker here. Darken up the shadows under the peels over here. Like that. Okay, and this will be enough. Now we still have to add here shadow to this middle part, but before that we can add here still some color, some green color and brown color to the ends. For this we are going to make a new layer on top of that middle part over here. Let's set it as clipping mask and let's change the color. Let's start here with the ends. So for this we can take color number 6. And we can just darken this up a little bit here like that. And same here at the bottom. Just darken this up. This should be enough. And now let's add here some green. So let's take the green color. Let's take color number 7. And we can just add it a little bit here. Like that, very lightly. And a little bit here at the bottom too. We can make it darker now with the second green color, color number 12. Let's just add it here again, just in a few places. Same here at the bottom. Okay, and that's enough. Now let's add here some shadow on that middle part. Let's make a new layer on top of this. Set it as clipping mask. And change it to multiply. Let's take the color, color number 9. And we can make the brush size a little bit bigger, maybe 15%. And let's add this here in the middle of it, very lightly. Like this. And now we have to make it stronger where there is shadow. So there will be shadow here from those peel parts. over here. And also over here. So like that. We can now make here an extra layer for the shadow. Let's set it as clipping mask, change it to multiply, and with a smaller brush size, 7%, we can make this darker over here, just so it matches the other one, the other shadow over here, and just a little bit here darker. Okay, so the shadows on the banana are ready. Now let's draw the eyes and the mouth. For this we can make a new layer on top of everything over here. We can pick the color. Let's take color number 5. And let's change the brush. Let's go back to calligraphy and monoline brush. And let's draw eyes. We can draw just 2 circles. So draw it like that. Hold your pencil on the screen and put your finger here to make this a nice circle. If you want, you can tap here and move this circle. And when you finish, tap with your finger on the screen. Let's color this inside. And if you want the other eye to be exactly the same, we can just duplicate this layer. So let's swipe on it to the left and pick duplicate. And now let's take the arrow tool and move this to the side over here. And now let's draw the smile. I'm holding my pencil on the screen here to make this a nice arc. Now let's put those 2 layers together. We can just pinch them like this. Let's add here a highlight in his eye. Let's take color number 4. And let's take a brush for this with a texture. I will go back to my siakulaart texture brushes. And I will use here easy shading. With the brush size 2%. Let's add here a highlight in his eye. So 1 dot here and 1 dot here. And then let's make a brush size even smaller, 1%. And add here a smaller dot on the side. And now we can add here some shadow around those eyes. For this, let's go back to the layer with the shadow on that banana part. So it's over here, this one. Let's take the color for it. Take color number 11. And we can use here, maybe we can just use here the same brush, easy shading. Let's make the brush size here maybe 3%. And draw some shadow on the right side of it. Around it like that. Over here too. And now with a smaller brush size, 2%, we can add here some shadow around his mouth. Over here and over here. Let's make it stronger. Let's go to the second layer of the shadow, this one. And with a smaller brush size, 1%, let's make it a little bit darker right by the eyes. Over here. And here, just a little bit. Okay. Now we can start adding here some light. We can start here those eyes. For this we can make a new layer on top of that shadow. Over here. Let's set it as clipping mask. And let's change the blending mode of this to add. Let's change the color to number 4. And we can add here a little bit of light over here like this. And now same over here to the eyes on the left side. Let's make the brush size bigger, 2%, and add it over here. So just like that. Let's add now some light here on the banana in general. Let's make the brush size bigger, maybe like 7%. And let's add it over here. Follow the shape of the banana. Let's add it like that. Okay, and now we can turn down the opacity of this. So let's go here. And I will make it here 78%. Now let's add some light to the banana peel over here. So let's make a new layer over here above those shadows. Let's set it as clipping mask and change it to add. Let's add some light over here, like that. Just a little bit here, a little bit here. And now here right on the edge, like that. Also over here just a little bit. And now here and here bigger light. So like this. Maybe I will still add here some light like that. And also a little bit here. And here. And now here. Let's turn down the opacity of this. I will make it 80%. Okay, and now let's add some light to those parts, to the open peel. So over here, above the shadow on it, we can make a new layer, set it as clipping mask, and change it to add. Let's make the brush size bigger for this, maybe like 14%, and add the light over here. Let's turn down the opacity of this. I will make it 79%. And now we can add just a tiny bit of light to that yellow part of the peel here. So let's go over here to the shadow on it, make a new layer on top, set it as clipping mask, and change it to add. Let's make the brush size small, 4%. And we can add it here right on the edge, like this, just a little bit to brighten this up here. So like that. And over here. Let's turn down the opacity of this. I will make this one 66. Okay, and now in the end we can add here some shadow from the banana on the ground. So for this, let's make a new layer on top of this over here. And let's set it as multiply. Let's pick a color. Let's take color number 13. And we can use here this texture brush. Let's make the size 15. And just add the shadow over here. Like that. Make sure to add the shadow also here from this part of the banana peel. So it should look like this. Let's make it darker right over here and fade it away. Okay, we can turn down the opacity of this a little bit. Let's make it 86%. And we'll add here a new layer for the shadow in a different color. Let's set it as multiply. And now we can take here color number 2. Let's add here the shadow again, right under the banana over here. Make it darker over here, like that. And now here from that peel part. We can turn down the opacity of this a little bit. I will make it 88. And now this illustration is finished. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and I hope you can share your drawing with me on Instagram. I would love to see it. And if you'd like to draw more of me, make sure to check out my Patreon. Link is in the description. Thank you so much for watching and see you in my next video. Bye!